Chapter 33. The Last Vacations. Summer was beginning. It was December 2, 2011. The first days of the summer holidays were beginning, and the households of Pizcet were beginning to decorate their houses with Christmas light bulbs on their trees and bushes, canes, mistletoe and other decorations in their gardens and facades of their homes. On the morning of that Saturday, Gavin had slept the night before at the Fowler home in Green Hills, as well as other members of the ranch. He remembered 12 years ago when he was getting ready for the first day of school in the first year, but 12 years later, everything was very different. The last year of school only meant that it would be the year in which they would finally face the witch Sylvanetia, and that the fate of the world and the justice of their families would depend on that. Names. At home, his cousin Beryl, a girl with curly hair, had helped him prepare a caramel flan with his mother. When the visitors left his home, Gavin remembered that day he would see Marycross at the Hill of Yellow Flowers where he used to talk to Marie when they were children. So from the lamp in his room, he went to the Asgard ranch. From there, he transported himself to the Marycross home, and went for his friend. Thanks to the creation of Bluffs by Mariah a few years ago. Arriving at the ranch, Gavin met Yasser, Esther, Aura and Tony in the common room. "Are you going to help me, Roger, Naomi, Emily and Liza with the plants in the garden and the greenhouse at the ranch?" "True? You promised?" Tony asked. "I want to participate," Aura shouted. "Oh, it's true." She had forgotten. "You see, today I was planning to go with Marycross to chat, but if I meet you right away, then I'll go with her later," Gavin responded. "Okay, I'll wait for you in the greenhouse," Tony concluded and left. "I'll go tell Naomi, Roger, Liza and Emily. We'll see you there," Aura said. Gavin sat on the couch. On the other side Esther and Yasser were sitting chatting. So Gavin approached them and asked them, "Have you seen Marycross? Do you know if this morning she slept in her room at the ranch or went to her home?" "She slept here. We shared a room in the cabins with her and Aura," Esther responded. "Yes, this morning she told me that she should see you, by the way. She told me that she was waiting for you on the Hill of Yellow Flowers around 11 in the morning," said Yasser. 11 in the morning? Well, there are still 3 hours left. That's enough time to help Roger and the others in the greenhouse and then go with her. If I have time I think I'll take a walk around the ranch," Gavin said with an anxious face. "It's risky for you to go out, meet here, but hey, you're not children anymore. Just be careful with the sentinels out there," said Esther and Yasser as they continued their morning conversation in the common room eating a chocolate cake. Gavin began to walk through all the sections of the ranch. He had to ask Angie or Black if the day before he was gone they had found out about the remaining riddles. In the early hours of the morning, in the following places such as the terrace were Leonard, Richie, Albert, Jones and Franklin chatting with Adrian and Alvord. In the Zeppelin hangar there were Joel, Sebastian, Hector, Arthur changing the tires of the ship and adding new modifications to it. In the hallway that led to the boys' and girls' dormitories, they were silent. Some boys had not up from their beds, they were still sleeping, but there was no sign of Black and Angie. In the game room were Aaron, Eric, Nick, Chaka and Alessio playing on the pinball machines, which they had bought with the third-place prize in the Fudblaze Cup the previous year, while in the ranch dining room at that time early hours there was no one. Gavin arrived at the new section of the ranch that Tony and Roger had built after the end of the previous course. It was a greenhouse to harvest the food, fruits and vegetables of the ranch. In addition to collecting that food that in the cold of winter or the strong heat in the summer they were difficult to harvest, and in addition, in the Black's garden, crops were being lost due to infestations of worms, crows, termites and grasshoppers. Upon arriving at the greenhouse, Roger was opening some packages full of excrement from the horses he had on his farm. "We will use this as organic fertilizer," said Roger. "Excellent. I like that the plants are 100% organic. Fertilizers and chemicals only harm the human body," said Tony while he prepared the land. "Guys, in these gondolas we will put our ornamental plants," said Naomi. "Oh no. Look," Liza shouted, worried. "What happened, friend?" Emily asked. "Look at my cacti. It has aphids and other insects." Liza screamed desperately. "Calm down. Find a cauldron and make this recipe," said Gavin as he wrote down for Liza on a piece of paper a recipe for garlic, cinnamon bark, mineral water and scorpion venom. "What does that recipe do?" Tony asked. "It is sprayed on the leaves of the plants. It is natural. The insects, having the stench of cinnamon and garlic nearby, flee from the plant. And the scorpion venom with the mineral water gives a bitter taste to the insects in the leaves that they cut with their small mouths, so they won't come back," Gavin concluded. "He's right. My father had taught me that recipe." "Liza, make it, to protect all the plants in this place," said Roger. Gavin began to select the seeds with Tony and the girls. They all planned to harvest carrots, cauliflower, cabbage, corn, pumpkins, cherries, strawberries, pineapple, bananas, turnips, lettuce, tomatoes, spinach. In addition to the medicinal plants and phytotherapy that Aura brought to the ranch, in addition to the fact that she wanted to plant some plants that produced seeds. Since Aura had made friends with her owl, a squirrel and some animals that visited the ranch tree and lived in her room so she could feed them. In a while, she looked into the greenhouse. Fergie, Esther and Leisha, they commented that they would also use the plants to make potions, antidotes and elixirs that they had learned in alchemy classes. Gavin still couldn't find Black and Angie at the ranch. It was 10 in the morning. He went to his room to get ready and meet with his friend. On his windowsill, he found a letter, which had the crest of Hanmark's sweet shop on it, and he opened it and it said the following. "Dear Mr. Fowler, we inform you that you have been sued before the judges and counselors for having stolen a piece of chewing gum from the Hanmark's sweet shop when you were 6 years old. You will have to pay a fine of 5 million rods no later than next month." "What does this mean?" Gavin said, and immediately went to the common room, where Roger, Esther, Louis, Tony, Yasser, Emily were gathered, as well as Black and Angie, who had been looking for them for a while. "Guys, check this out. This letter arrived in my bedroom," Gavin said. "What does it say?" "Read it out loud," said Roger with a sarcastic face. Gavin proceeded to read the letter and everyone in the room began to laugh loudly. In addition, everyone told him that he should start saving to pay the fine. Gavin was very distressed about the letter. However, after 10 minutes, Roger told him that everything had been a prank by the boys at the ranch, prepared by him and Black. So Gavin changed his anguished face and chased Roger around the room. Black told him that he had wanted to take revenge for some years now for the pranks he had played on them. "Although my revenge was in the 5th year, you see, I sent a letter to his parents. A fake one from the school, telling them that Gavin was misusing academic resources. He didn't speak to me for days. It was very funny," he added. Black, while the others in the room were laughing at the joke, then Gavin asked Louis what LXIS meant behind the sheet of the letter, and he remembered that the boy had written the same thing on the cover. From the gossip graph, where the rest had written down their names, "It's to give style to my name. There are millions of Louis, but you know, there's only one LXIS," said Louis as he winked at Gavin. Black and Angie told him that the investigation of the riddles would begin next week, since they wanted to rest. So he should take the day off and enjoy Marycross with Marycross on the Hill of Yellow Flowers. There was still time for 11 o'clock in the morning tomorrow. So Gavin decided to walk around the ranch again. making the hands of the clock tick until it showed 10:45 to leave. Gavin met Hector in the cleaning room. "Hey, where are you going?" "Let's talk for a while," said Hector. "Better at night. I'm in a hurry. I'll go talk to Marycross on the hill," Gavin responded. "I'll wait for you at night in the game room," Hector shouted as he continued cleaning. Then, in another hallway, he ran into Rasmus, and called loudly, "Hey, do you know where Roger is? He was supposed to help me with some horses today with Gilbert in the stables below the ranch. Look for him in the greenhouse. He's with Tony. I was there a moment ago," Gavin responded. Then, going down the steps of the hallway, he found Joss sitting writing a letter. "I want to buy a new coat. Do you know the address of the clothing and costume store in the Central Market?" Joss asked. "I have no idea, but you can talk to Dean. He sells clothing," Gavin answered. Jimena was near a window where the branches with green apples from the rancho tree penetrated into the hallway. "Do you want one? I'm collecting them," Jimena asked. "Sure," Gavin replied. As he walked around the hallway, he ran into Miel, who was having a cup of coffee. "Gavin, come with me to the dining room for breakfast. I woke up very late, so we'll talk for a while," said Miel. "I'd love to, but I have a commitment this morning," Gavin responded. "Oh well. How about another day? By the way, do you know where Patey is? I need to talk to him," Miel asked. "I haven't seen him, but if I see him, I'll tell him you're looking for him," said Gavin. After continuing walking, he ran into her friend Megan, who came with some books in her hands. "Gavin, I don't need these books on alchemy and literature anymore. I was thinking about throwing them away," Megan said. "Don't throw them away. Next year take them to Madame Layla in the school library. She will receive them as a donation," said Gavin. "Really? I didn't know that," Megan said. "Yes, the donated books are awarded to students who are scholarship recipients, those with limited resources who cannot buy their books. The same thing happens with second-hand uniforms," Gavin responded. "Well, next year I'll take them to her. Thanks for the information," Megan responded. When we left the hallway and reached an outside area, Aaron was doing some shots with one of his Fudblaze balls. "Will you be back on the team for your last year?" Aaron asked. "I'm still thinking about it," Gavin responded. Elisa and Carly were near where Aaron was. Elisa approached Gavin and looked at him from head to toe. "You should eat more green salad. I never see you eat them at lunch," said Elisa. "Of course I like them," Gavin responded. "Elisa, not all of us have the same tastes as you. Don't be nosy," Carl responded. Leaving this area, there was Nana. She came from the kitchen from the ranch, was baking chocolate chip cookies. "Gavin, try one. What do you think?" said Nana. Gavin took the cookie and began to gobble it down. "They are as delicious as the ones Nicole and Alice sell at Hallmarks," Gavin responded. "Thank you. I will sell cookies this summer. I want to adopt the hedgehog at the pet store. But its care is very expensive," said Nana. "I wish you luck and I'll tell everyone about your cookies," Gavin added. In another hallway, there was Albert. He was solving some mathematical and astrophysics theories. "What are you doing?" "It's a vacation," said Gavin. "I know. But I'm creating new methods for solving mathematical problems for next year," said Albert. And in that same hallway Alex was walking with several notes and a number 2 pencil in his right ear. "Gavin, tell Angie and Black that the next puzzle is very close to being solved. Maybe next week." "That's what several guys told me at breakfast. Those useless people have taken too long," said Alex. "Okay, congratulate them for their good work for me," Gavin replied. Walking towards the men's and women's bathrooms, at the door, lying on his back and one leg resting on the door, was Arthur, and jokingly he said to him, "When will you pay me for my drum and my period? Many years have passed." "Oh, I promise you soon," said Gavin. "Ha ha ha. It was a joke, forgotten." I just wanted to see what your face was, said Arthur. Aura came up the stairs, with a tray full of medicinal leaves. Look, Gavin, all this thanks to the greenhouse. It's time to make potions this summer. I love herbal medicine. Thank you for your help, said Aura. You're welcome, Gavin replied. Danny came out of another hallway with a yellow helmet on his head and a reflective vest. Where are you going? Won't you play Fudblaze with the boys this afternoon? Asked Gavin. Maybe. But Roger and Tony asked me to dig down there. Use the composting hole for the greenhouse, answered Danny, who was carrying a small remote-controlled digging machine in his hands. He had bought it many years ago. Years on the great campus. At one of the tables very close to that hallway, the triplets Danielle were sitting. Gavin, I sent you a letter and you haven't responded to me, said Daria, a thick girl, with light skin, brown eyes and brown hair. If you answered. Phoebe told me that you opened my letter and didn't respond, Gavin said. Gavin, who has the keys to the ranch library? I want a book from there to read on vacation, she asked with the strong voice of her K, a thick girl, with short brown hair, and brown eyes. Talk to Sophia, said Gavin. Have you seen John Paul? He owes me 50 rods for a bet we made, asked Bonnie, a brunette girl, with long black hair, black eyes and short stature. I think he was in his room. I heard that someone wanted to get some of the fish out of the fish tank in the common room and he was about to help, said Gavin. At the other table were the triplets Carolyn. Gavin, do you happen to have any pictures of the waterfall where they saw the crocodile in 4th year? I need them, said Estella, a girl, tall, thick, with dark skin and black hair, who liked to travel to see waterfalls and forests. I think I have some in my bedroom. The boy Taru had given them to me. At night you all give them, if I find them, said Gavin. Have you seen Roger and Tony? I made them the plan of the greenhouse. They owe me 5,000 rods, said Carrie, a short girl, with expensive skin and short hair. One of the most intelligent in the room. They are in the greenhouse, in fact, said Gavin. Will we play Fudblaze at the ranch this summer? Asked Livia, a girl with brown hair, light skin, short and green eyes. Of course, said Gavin and continued walking. He observed that the ranch library was open. Priscilla was inside arranging some books in a bookcase. In one of the armchairs was Beatrice, a thick girl, with short black hair, who had a great singing voice. Writing his new song. Gavin, what do you think of this song for the recital next year? Professor Arnold invited me to the art club, said Beatrice. Really? Gavin said. Yes, that's what I said. You listen well. Clean your ears. Well, anyway, what did you think of the song? Beatrice asked. I think the choirs are great, said Gavin. Yes, I'll show it to Tony to see what he thinks. It's designed for him to be the lead vocal. The song is called The Shine in Your Eyes, said Beatrice. At another table in the library was Melissa, the girl with white hair and outlined green eyes, writing something in a stationery store next to Kevin, the tall boy with a beard and short hair. As we left the library and reached the next hallway, there were Gloria, Eric, Indira, and Lester. Gavin, when you see Black, tell him that the ranch's finances have had a 200% surplus, Gloria said. Gavin, did you know that Great Campus is building some spy drones? It has spectacular cameras. We should buy one for our photographs. What do you think if next summer when all this is over, we take 100 photographs? Eric said. Do you think those drones are cheap? I imagine they will use them to spy on us. With respect to the photographs, of course, it is an excellent plan, said Gavin. Gavin, next year I will no longer be a catcher on the Fudblaze team. I still feel pain in my hand from the last game. Next year I will be a delegate. That will take away a lot of my time from being on the team, said Lester, the shortest guy in the room. but very intelligent, with short curly hair and glasses. Okay, I'll tell Aaron, Gavin replied. Gavin, the one who can do everything. The one who makes everything possible. The one who organizes everything. Nick came shouting through the hallways. The one who organizes everything is Angie, haha. What's wrong, Nick? Gavin asked. Nothing. I just wanted to tell you that. Ha ha ha, said Nick. Really? That's all? Gavin asked. Well, I also have tickets for the game at the Warrior Lane Road Stadium. We will go with hoodies. Do you want to go? Nick asked. I'll let you know later, Gavin concluded. In another hallway came running Esther, the short, thick girl, with straight black hair, brown eyes. And Yasser's best friend, who was carrying another piece of chocolate cake in her hands. Gavin, don't tell anyone. If you promise, I'll give you cake in the afternoon, Esther shouted as she continued running, and in front of her were walking Fergie, the girl with light skin, freckles on her cheeks, blue eyes and blonde hair, and Kim, a girl with brown hair, long and straight, light skin and brown eyes. Hello Kim, what do you have there? Gavin asked. It is a mortar for herbal drugs to create ethers, potions and elixirs. Sometimes the girls in the room suffer from migraines. It is better to be prepared, said Kim. Fergie, did you get me the berry seeds and strawberries? The greenhouse is ready, said Gavin. Oh, I forgot buddy. I'm sorry. Fergie answered, and in the process, he dropped all the clothes he had been carrying. Oh, everything falls down. Always. Fergie shouted, annoyed. Joel came walking with an axe in his hand. What do you have there? Did you take Bastian's gun? Gavin said. Ha ha. No, in fact, he gave it to me. He asked me to bring firewood. I will go with him to Woodham Lands. The firewood in the kitchen and the fireplace in the common room was exhausted, Joel responded. Hello Leanne, said Gavin. Hello Gavin. Hey, I have to tell you something very funny. When we get back I'll let you know about the gossip. Only this one is not in the pages of the gossip book that you created, said Leanne. Indira found Gavin and told him, next year I want you to get me a shirt from our house's Fudblaze team. I wanted to know if you and the boys would accompany me to next year's recital? Since I will dance, said Indira. We will all be there to be part of the art club, and we will get you the shirt, although it is a little expensive. It costs 7,000 rods, Gavin said. At that, Liza and Leisha approached through one of the hallways. Hey, I'm looking for Roger to help me with some plants. I don't know how to plant this petunia, said Liza. He's still in the greenhouse. But I'll help you. Just put the leaf in the ground. Through the stem of it, it will have roots and grow, said Gavin. It better work. Otherwise, I'll give you a smack in that curly hairstyle. Liza shouted with a sarcastic laugh. Gavin, do you know where Naomi is? I'm looking for her, said Leisha. I think she's in the laundry, Gavin responded. After reaching the terrace, there was Gilbert, a boy thick and short, with his rope and his hat. Hey Fowler. I need your help. Something terrible is happening on the prairies. Do you know if you could help me with that this afternoon? When you get free, of course. They told me that you will go out for a moment, asked Gilbert. Sure. Clear. Find out better what it's about while I'm gone, Gavin said. Just at that moment, Malith was talking to some girls and approached Gavin. Next year count on me for the Fudblaze team. We'll give those Eagles what they deserve. I want to beat them in skating and Fudblaze and see their faces in defeat, said Malith. You're one of the captains, you know that, said Gavin. In the next segment there was Yasser, Esther's friend, the girl with curly hair, short, dark skin, brown eyes. She was looking for something. Gavin, do you know where Gloria is? She asked me to help her with the accounting today, said Yasser. She's in the library, said Gavin. Suddenly Mayra appeared with a bottle, very dirty, full of dirt. Do you know what that is? Gavin asked him. She must be trash. Danny was doing some digging and I found it. I'm going to throw it away, said Mayra. It's a cherry wine. Roger and I did it 2 weeks ago. It's ready. Try it, said Gavin. Really? I love wine, Mayra said. Keep it and tell us how it turned out, being underground for weeks. That will help the fermentation, said Gavin. Mei Lin was pasting some posters on the bulletin board. Drones? Eric told me about them, said Gavin. Oh yes, about the drones. In my father's shop in Wingshampton Alley, he will be selling them. They are worth 7,000 rods, said Mei Lin. Gavin! Gavin! Katie shouted. What's wrong? Gavin said. Do you know where Sebastian is? Today we will make improvements to the body of the Zeppelin, but I can't find it, said Katie. In the hangar, said Gavin. Gavin would go down where the laundry was located and there, going up more steps was Natasha, eating a hamburger. Hey, Gavin. In the dining room I left hamburgers for everyone. In case you want to try one of my special recipe, Natasha said. It will be my dinner for the night, thank you, said Gavin. At the entrance to the laundry was Leonard with a newspaper. Look at this, strange smoke signals appear in Woodham Lands and New Riverville, said Leonard. It would be better to investigate that along with the riddles, said Gavin. Phoebe was coming out of the laundry room with a basket of clothes. Have you seen Eric? Not even he can pick up his own clothes. Your stupid Fudblaze shirt ruined my underwear, said Phoebe. I saw it above, in the second segment, said Gavin. Oops. I'm going to kill him, Phoebe said. Josh and Jones were doing their laundry together. He's the coach, said Josh. What's new, friends? Gavin asked. Nothing. I was just telling Josh that next year I would like to be a pitcher or outfielder, Jones said. In both potions you are an excellent player, Gavin said. I told him that too, Josh said. After leaving there, on the last level, where the meeting room was, John Paul was sitting at one of the tables. What are you doing, friend? Gavin asked. I'm completing the photo album for the school newspaper. The entire Clovers team is already complete. I'm missing the Bees and Falcons delegates. I still have some envelopes to open, said John Paul. Good luck with that, Gavin said. Natty ran over and asked Gavin, what did you think of Tamara's party? We should do another one for Christmas and New Year. Let me organize it, said Natty. As you want, Gavin answered. Richie Brennan, a shy, thin boy with dark skin and short hair, approached Gavin and asked, Gavin? Hello, sorry I've never spoken to you. I would like to ask, what is Professor Arnold like? He invited me and Franklin to be part of the art club, said Richie. You'll love him. He's an excellent teacher and very funny. He's nice. Bring him a drink and you'll make him happy, said Gavin. Great, I'll buy you a drink in the next few days. I was thinking about going to the liquor store down the alley from Mackenzie Tower, said Richie. Alessandro was entering the meeting room, when he shouted and said, Has anyone seen Mayra? And Gavin responded, he went to his room. He was very happy with the wine I gave him. There was sitting Alexa, the girl with light skin, big reddish cheeks, who was reading some books, trying to solve one of the riddles. So Gavin told her that she better read the blue book he was putting down last, which spoke about Pizcet curiosities. Thank you. Let's go for it and achieve it, Alexa said. Next to her was Annie, a girl also with big cheeks, straight black hair, fair skin. She was a little moody. Have you seen Arthur? Would we go and chat on the terrace today? Annie asked. I saw him in the bathrooms, said Gavin. So Annie got up and left. Gavin left the meeting room and in the hallway he met Dean. Hey, Dean. I got you clients for your clothing business. There are people looking for you all over the ranch, he said. Gavin, was it really you? Yes, I have sold a lot of things in these last few hours. Thank you very much, friend, Dean said. Coming up the stairs came Marilu, with a picnic basket. She was a girl with black hair, thin and tall, with freckles on her cheeks. "What are you carrying there?" said Gavin. "I'm going for a picnic on the terrace with Daria." "Oh, this? It's a dish that my mother taught me to make," said Marilu. "Really? What is it?" "It smells delicious," said Gavin. "It's a bowl with beans, pork, rice, tomato and onion salad with lemon juice, avocado and decorated with chips," Marilu argued. "It's an explosion of flavor." "Save one for me in the dining room," Gavin said. Michelle came up the steps reading a book. "Gavin, I have something to tell you. The girls got potions books at the Antosca clinic. I think I'll make some for future missions," Michelle said, to which Gavin raised his thumb at her. In the distance, Valerie was looking for a person close to where he was. "Gavin, have you seen Alexa?" Valerie asked. "Yes, she is in the meeting room," Gavin said. At a table next to a window, Gabby was holding Tamara on her lap, and then she sat her in her car, very quietly. Tamara had fallen asleep. Gabby whispered to Gavin, "Shoo. Keep quiet. You don't know how difficult it was to get him to sleep. The boys make a lot of noise. If you see Saul, tell him I need to talk to him." "Okay, Gabby," Gavin whispered. Going down the stairs and reaching another level of the spacious ranch, he met Franklin. "Have you seen Leonard?" said Franklin. "I think he's on the terrace. I thought I saw him there," said Gavin. There also came Darius walking with a broom. "Do you want to help me change my bedroom? I'll give you my dragon's shirt. I'll change bedrooms with Ken. Tony doesn't let us sleep with his flatulence at night," said Darius. "I won't be able to. I won't be here this afternoon," Gavin responded. Upstairs, on a staircase, was Paula. "What are you doing, Paula?" Gavin asked. "I am placing these scopes to observe at long distances. I will also put some on the terrace, so we could see what is happening in the distance or if something or someone approaches our lair. Eric told me about the drones. That worries me. This is like a surveillance system," explained Paula. "Excellent idea," said Gavin. Saul was reading some plans in his hand. "Hey. Gabby is looking for you," Gavin shouted to him. "Yes, I was making a plan with Arthur. We will build a bedroom entirely for her in the girls' ward so she can be with Tamara without problems," said Saul. "She's in that hallway with Tammy. She sees stealthily. The baby is sleeping," Gavin told him, pointing to the hallway. In another segment, there was the ranch's alchemy laboratory, where there were tables with cauldrons and microscopes to make potions, ethers, elixirs, antidotes and investigate different things. There was Pali at one of the tables. "What are you doing?" Gavin asked. "Hello, Gavin. I'm making a formula to eliminate cavities." Hector got one in his tooth for eating a supply of 200 Hallmark's chocolates and sweets that he ordered for Halloween, said Pali. "Is it like toothpaste?" Quote. Gavin asked. No. But it could work, Pali said. When leaving the laboratory, Patty and Rubian asked Gavin if he had seen Rachel, and he told them that he had not seen her. But as they walked through some wide corridors without any decoration, he found Rachel. "Hey, Rachel. Patty and Rubian are looking for you," said Gavin. "Thank you. Yes, I'm looking for them. I'm going to kill them. Those two put pink detergent in the laundry and my underwear is pink now, and I hate that color," Rachel said furiously. After continuing walking down this hallway, Sophia and Samantha were opening some cardboard boxes with portraits. "What beautiful portraits. What are they?" Gavin asked. "Hello, Gavin. Portraits painted by us. There are many. There are portraits of all of us, of the places where we have been, of the ranch. Look. You are in this one," said Sophia. "Wow. I am identical. You are an artist," said Gavin. "Yes, we decided to place them in this hallway to give it life, and make it look decorated. And not empty walls," said Samantha. Gavin climbed the stairs until he reached the tower, where here, Sylvia was installing a telescope that she made. Wow, what a beauty. Did you make that telescope? Gavin asked. Hello Gavin. That's right, I got a glass with a variable focal length lens, which keeps the image in focus by varying the focal length. And with this old pipe, I installed it in the laboratory. If you want at night, you could come. If you want to use it, today is a full moon. Since it is summer, the sky will be clear. We could see the stars, said Sylvia. I will come if you promise me that I can see the rings of Saturn and the moons of Jupiter. You know that I love astronomy and astrology like you do, said Gavin. Of course we do. We can even see the comets. Also the Milky Way and the entire sea in the universe, said Sylvia. Coming down from the tower, Gavin met Oscar. I've been looking for you all over the ranch. Help me. We want to play pinball on the machines in the games room, said Oscar. And what happened? Asked Gavin. The stupid game doesn't work, said Oscar. Unplug them from the electricity and then when you plug them in, they should work again. That's what Albert explained to me, said Gavin. I hope it works. If not, I'll come look for you again, Oscar said. Then Teffa was walking with some chocolate cakes in her hands. Where are you taking all those cakes? Gavin asked, shouting, shoo. Do not scream. Ha ha. To a hiding place. I haven't been able to eat. In the dining room everyone looks like ants and they have eaten all the cakes, Teffa said furiously. It was close to 10:40. So Gavin decided to leave. He had spent enough time visiting all the sections of the ranch, where all the boys did not hesitate to ask something and others asking him for some advice and favors. So he decided to head towards the hill where he would meet Marycross. When he reached the stairs that led to the backyard of Daniel Black's home, he found Mott climbing the steps. Hey Gavin. Shall we bet on the cards tonight? Asked Mott. I'm terrible at cards. I already told you, you'd bankrupt me, said Gavin. You always say that. I'll have to keep beating Oscar, Alessio and Tony at poker, said Mott. After all this, Gavin was about to leave the ranch to meet Marycross. Angelica and Alessio were at the bottom of the stairs, near the roots of the tree that supported the ranch, reading the Pizcet Times, where they told Gavin that they had been murdered the night before Tim Morgan, the commissioner, in a faraway place.